Alright, so this is the last thing I have to do before I get to go to bed. Alright, so today I did the Davy 504 challenge. I guess I rapped over it. Man, it was nerve wracking. It was the first time I've ever, this whole experience, man, that I've been trying to talk about every day, that it's just been pushing my comfort level, especially what I think I know. For example, I thought I was already starting to learn editing and stuff like that, but when I did it today, I encountered new challenges, which was something I had to learn. I had to learn all these things on the spot, so that was good. And I know these skills are gonna help me later on. Um, yeah, I've just been thinking about the question being that not all of us are meant to fit in here in this earth. You might be wondering why you don't have any friends and why no one's inviting you out to parties and stuff like that, but trust me, you're not missing out on much, man. I already, I could speak from a personal experience where I was trying to go out every night and go to clubs and stuff like that and try to meet friends. But the thing you quickly begin to realize is those friends are only there for their convenience. They're like to me, a friendship is something that is mutual, something that you could provide as much value to them as they can provide to you. But for some reason, nowadays, at least in my experience, what I've noticed is just people go around looking for what can I gain from this person, what can I take from this person, and draining out your resources and stuff like that, be it money, be it food, be it time. So man, look, you don't need to have friends. You don't need to fit in. It's okay to be yourself. People can sense those things, by the way, just in case you didn't know. Whenever you're near other people and you're not being yourself or you're not being authentic to what, sometimes we withhold what we want to say, but people sense that it's coming from a place of weakness in us. You know what I mean? And it puts us in a position of to be vulnerable, because people don't just look at it and be like, oh, they're just shy about this or whatever, or they're not comfortable, so they're not going to say anything. They see the cowardice in you, or yeah, that you're being a coward basically, and they take advantage of you, man. That's when they start to bleed you for money, for if you guys go out to eat, they know you're going to pay for them because you don't want to be alone. So, I mean, I've been talking about this since I started the channel. But if you guys really want to be free, you need to learn how to love yourself. You feel alone because you haven't noticed that there's a friend right near you, dude. It's yourself. Yourself is your best friend. You're the one that's always gonna look out for your own things. When push comes to shove, yo, they're gonna be pointing fingers in all directions, especially at yours, looking for someone to blame because they were in the wrong. And man, you can go and learn this firsthand. But what I'm trying to tell you guys out there who are watching this video right now is you don't need to fit in. You don't need friends. You don't need anyone. Most of the time, people go after you is because they can get something from you. So I'm not trying to tell you that the world is all bad and that we should be running away from everyone and just hiding. But the thing that you guys need to understand is that you are valuable. That's why people want to take stuff from you, because you have value to give, but you don't see it yourself. That's why you need to become your own friend. You know what I mean? Sometimes we need to be the performer and the coach. So you're pushing yourself, coaching yourself in what to do, but you're also performing at the same time. You're the only one that cares about your future, man. But even that, don't put too much importance into that as well, because, you just need to, as cliche as it might sound, enjoy the journey, man. Life's not all about accomplishing things, and life's not all about becoming, this perfect version of yourself. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is, but for the majority of the time, this is an experience we all need to overcome. It's like plants, you know? Like when they're outside, they get watered and stuff, and they're put through like not so good like if it's cold outside, for example, the plant is still outside, and if the plant can think and feel just like we can, it feels the cold, and I'm sure it's not comfortable for it. Like I'm putting these human characteristics into an inanimate object, but the truth being is that even that plant, it's not always in the most favorable, most comfortable of circumstances, but it gets through it, man. It rains, there's a storm, there's whatever, there's heat, and the plant is still there. It might burn a couple leaves here and there and stuff like that, but it's the same with us, man. Like, who you think you are doesn't really matter. Like, who you think you have to be doesn't matter either. Sometimes it does. Like, that's the contradictory nature of life, but you have to realize that above all else, you are your best friend. You're the one that needs to pull yourself out of the holes that you yourself put yourself in. That's what I've noticed with myself. Like, when I got out of the military, I was in shape, but I decided to eat unhealthy, and now I'm pulling myself out of that same hole that I put myself in. Don't look for someone else to complete you. Like, I fell victim to these things, and people take advantage of them, man, because they could sense that you're coming from a place of weakness. So if I could give you guys any advice today, it would be that, to know your worth, because you are the most important person to yourself. You don't need to have somebody else find it in you, or look for someone else to complete you. That's the thing about relationships, man. Everyone, or not everyone, but it's these movies and the advertisement that there's a perfect partner out there for you. There's no one made for you. You are made for yourself. You need to complete yourself. You don't need anybody else to complete you. You don't need someone else to fix you. You could do that yourself. But like I said, like, life is contradictory. It's not all about fixing yourself all the time. Like, sometimes you have to feel alone. Sometimes you have to feel sad. It's like the yin and yang of life. There's the positive energy and the negative energy. But always remember that and take that with you, that you are the most important person in your life, and you don't need anybody else to complete you. So as soon as you start putting this into practice, you're going to notice that you're going to be set free. You're not going to be held back by other people or other people's problems, because I mean, sometimes it's okay to carry other people's burdens, but sometimes it's not worth it, because they're not going to be as appreciative, and they're not going to help you with your burden that you have to carry too. So start learning where to restrict in your life. Like, I'm applying these same principles. Like, these days it's just me, man, because I'm my number one, fan, and I'm a team of one, and that's okay. Like, you don't need anyone else. Like, you could do everything. You're perfectly capable. If you don't know how, you can learn. That's the biggest thing also that you need to take with you, is that just because you don't know how to do something now doesn't mean you will never know how to do it. You were born out of the womb not knowing how to talk, not walking, not really, you couldn't speak. All these things are learned. In the same way that you learn how to read and write, you can learn how to do whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. So take it one step at a time, man. Nothing has to be like in a hurry and in a rush. Just take your time, man. We're some of us, and especially myself, whenever I'm in a rush, you need to remember that the finish line in our life is death. So what are we rushing towards death for? Like, slow down, take it easy. Life is great. If you learn to look at the little positive things in your life, life will be great. Learn to cherish those things, just like a dog, Like, dogs live their days, but any little thing always adds to their excitement. Like, if you're there, they're happy. If you're not, they're happy. If they have more food, they're happy. If you give them a snack, they're happy. Like, anything, Anything and everything always adds to their excitement and into their life. We need to live the same way. We need to remember that we too are animals. We're the human animal. So let's take these lessons and then use them to apply in our life. And hopefully, I'll have more stuff to share with you guys. I don't know usually where I'm going to take these talks, but I go on here and I start like improvising. So hopefully, next time you guys hear from me, it's something good as well. So I'll see you guys and be positive, and I hope you guys accomplish everything in your lives. And remember, if no one tells you this, I love you, man. I love you. Peace out.